All right, so I wanted to show you some cool thing about Desmos that I just came across that would help you graph on here and check your answer. And it also is helpful. I've gotten a few emails stating that now that we're getting into graphing, some people have access to paper and printing and some people don't. So I want to make it equitable, and not only will this help people that can't print, but it's also pretty cool because it kind of checks your coordinates as you're graphing your quadratic parabola. So cool little function here is if you scroll here to this corner of Desmos, I'll put a link to Desmos on this video, but there's this plus symbol right there. So if you press the plus symbol here, add item, you can put in your own table. So now you can just use your function table like you would, for example, in checkpoint number 1 on page 11. This was the equation or the function quadratic you're asked to graph. So y equals 4x. I'm going to take the graph off so you don't see the answer right away. 4x squared, okay, plus 8x plus 3. All right, so here we go. Now we're going to actually put in the coordinates that you should have got from the actual, table of values that you created. So the first table of values, that's the easiest one that you might always want to start with, is this 3. You know that from the lesson that that we did today. That's always your y-intercept. So I'm going to put 0, comma 3. Okay, and there it is. It puts a dot for me right there, 0, comma 3. Now, if you did the negative b divided by 2a correctly, you would have got x equals negative 1. So I know my line of symmetry is x equals negative 1. And so now when you plug that x equals negative 1, hopefully you got y equals, what was it again? It was y equals negative 1 too. So there's your point right here. Okay, so the next thing, I wish I could just go here. It would automatically add to my table, but it doesn't. But I can count just like I would if this was paper. 1, 2, 1, 2. What is that coordinate? That's negative 2, 3. So I put in negative 2. And it's symmetric. It's my parabola starting to come together. And now the last thing I got to do, just one more coordinate like you hopefully figured out. Maybe if you put in x equals 1, okay? You hopefully, once you did 4 times 1 squared plus 8 times 1 plus 3, hopefully you got 15. Okay, so now we're a little bit bigger on the graph here, so I kind of have to zoom out a little bit. So it's, oh, that's too much. So we're way up here now. So let me move up to this part of the graph here. So this is 1 comma 15. Let me scroll out here. Yeah, 1 comma 15. That looks a little bit easier to figure out my parabola. So 115. So that must be one spot up 15. Here's my line, 2 spots. So I go over another 2, 1, 2. That must be, I'm 3 away from my x-axis, so that must be negative 3, 15. So I'm going to pop that in here, negative 3, 15. All right, so now I'm looking like I'm in good shape. Now, I tried to connect the dots, and maybe someone can figure it out. But when there's a way that you can hold this, right, and then connect the dots, and it gave me that. That is the opposite of a smooth parabola curve. Maybe I'm trying to think maybe it just did it in the order that I put the numbers. I don't even know. I don't know what this drag function does. I really, yeah, as soon as I don't know, I haven't been able to figure out, I don't know how to make the parabola happen by just connecting your own dots. But what I do know I can do here, right, is if in the beginning, when I first started this video, I put in my quadratic function. So if I did this right, you'll never see the video I did before this because I messed up a coordinate and it was an epic fail because I went to click the parabola and click this function and my dots did not connect and I was really upset. So here goes moment of truth. It should make a smooth curve that goes like this. These are the table of values and connect the dots. Yay! Thank goodness it worked. So there's my parabola. So if you were doing this at home, you could just do your Command Shift 4. I'm not sure what it is on a Chromebook. Pretty sure if you're smarter than me, you can figure that out. And boom, I just screenshotted my wonderful graph, and I could just put it into whatever I was asking for you to do digitally, or you could just have it that way. So hopefully this helps you. Again, not only graph without graph paper, but a cool way to put in a table and then just put in the dots and then check your work. You can check your line of symmetry and work on it that way. Hope this helps, and good luck with the classwork and the assignment.